So one of the initial challenges in meditation for everyone really is agitation, and the mind's rushing all over the place, completely crazed, as it were, and you think, sometimes you think, well, my mind wasn't like this before I started to meditate, and of course the answer to that is it was, but you never really looked closely enough to see it. Anyway, what do you do if the mind is so agitated? Well, one, don't panic, because that'll make it worse. So yeah, it's like this. This is just the way the normal, untrained mind is. You're completely normal. Almost everyone's been through this. It's not just you. But there are certain things that you can do. Now, if we take the mindfulness of breathing as a basic object, now that's quite a subtle object, and it can be quite difficult to persuade the mind to stay with the breath, or to find a skillful means in which you're happier to be with the breath than with other things. And just the whole sort of tumult of thought is just sometimes just too much to deal with. Now, with the breath, one adaptation of the simple breath meditation is to count the breaths. So on the in-breath you count 1, on the out-breath you count 1, in-breath 2, out-breath 2, in-breath 3, out-breath 3, in-breath 4, out-breath 4, in-breath 5, out-breath 5, and then you start again, and you count 1, 1, 2, 2, up to 6, 6, and then you start again and count 1, 1, 2, up to 7, 7, then 1 to 8, then 1 to 9, and then 1 to 10. Now, of course, if you get lost in the middle, you have to go back to the beginning. So you set yourself a little goal to see whether you can make one cycle, meaning you count 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 9, 1 to 10, without getting lost. And this is, I think, a useful technique in many ways. One is because you're changing the number that you're counting up to so frequently, you have to be right on top of it, otherwise you forget, am I counting up to 6, am I counting up to 7? So if you get lost, you know very quickly. Sometimes with other meditation or with the breath itself, you can just sort of drift along with it, or even with a mantra, for instance, like Buddha, and it can take some time before you realize you've got lost. Here you're forced to acknowledge that you can't remember where you are. So it means that the mind doesn't have the same opportunity to race around the universe in the way with a kind of a looser kind of technique would. Secondly, one of the difficulties in meditation is some means of gauging progress. It can be so kind of up and down, and it's very easy to get discouraged. But here you have some clear-cut way of judging whether you're making any progress. So to begin with, even just to do it one cycle, you can't do it. But after a while, yes, you can do it one cycle, then you try 2 cycles, you try 3 cycles, and seeing that you're making some kind of progress gives you a real fillip and gives you some inspiration to carry on. Now, what will happen is that if you persevere with this, after a few cycles, you start to feel it rather constricting and irritating, and your mind just naturally lets go of the counting. The agitation is gone, and now you're ready to be with the breath in a more intimate and natural way.